rookie Will Howard. They take him in the 6th round. They have Mason Rudolph there. They have Skylar Thompson. Braz, what's going on there, given that we have not heard from Aaron Rodgers?
Right, and the Steelers, he hasn't told them yes. They're still hoping, and they're optimistic that he will. He hasn't told them no yet. So on they go with their offseason program with Mason Rudolph and Skylar Thompson and Will Howard, who they drafted in one of the later rounds. So it gives these guys an opportunity to show what they can do. Aaron Rodgers may show up at some point. If he does, it would be to be the starter. But if he doesn't, I don't honestly think the Steelers are all that stressed out about it. Mason Rudolph is somebody who's been there and who helped them get to the playoffs 2 years ago when he became the starter late in the season. He's well-liked in the locker room by the coaching staff. Everybody laughs, but the Steelers actually feel like we can play good defense, we can run the ball. Mason Rudolph, could be good enough.
Good enough. I don't know if that's what you want in the NFL. Is like, okay, I understand you could win with, I guess, a game manager or whatever. I don't know. Swagoo, what do you think of the way they've handled
how much better than Mason Rudolph was Aaron Rodgers last year? That's the question I would ask.
Oh, Swagoo, your thoughts?
Yeah. All right, first of all, let me say this. I don't like optimistic Graziano. I like negative Graziano. I like the one that really is going to, because we know damn well the Pittsburgh Steelers ain't winning nothing with Mason Rudolph, Skylar Thompson, and probably Aaron Rodgers as well. Here's the bigger issue. Yeah. How are you positioning as the Pittsburgh Steelers to get a quarterback? Beyond Aaron Rodgers, beyond Mason Rudolph, how are you positioning? The waffling has happened because you've had good enough play to always be picking 20th or lower tier, and you can't get these guys. Make no moves up in the draft. I thought Shedeur Sanders would be the pick because of a young quarterback, and maybe you hang your hat on him progressing and becoming the franchise guy. Then that was gone. You look at the Pittsburgh Steelers and how they've been waffling, and I, for the life of me, can't understand what the quarterback situation future looks like. Here's the other thing. I hope, that they are like two famous people in a relationship that are going to come out to the world at a big event. Because that's the only thing that can happen. And if it's going to be Aaron Rodgers, we got to live with Aaron Rodgers. And I know he didn't have the greatest season, but there were signs that he would be better than what they have in the locker room right now. That is what this is about. This ain't about Super Bowls. This ain't about the Pittsburgh Steelers winning nothing or signing long-term deal with Aaron Rodgers. This is a one-time thing where hopefully you could be a solid team with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback.
The analogy.
Oh, sorry, now I'm just thinking about Mike Tomlin and Aaron Rodgers walking into the Met Gala tonight for Marcus's hard launch.
I knew you was going to catch it.
The Met Gala.
I knew you was going to catch it. LeBron can't go. LeBron can't go this year.
LeBron can't go. Look, if the Steelers aren't getting Aaron Rodgers, I do not understand their approach to this offseason at all. It makes no sense to me. But even if they are, to Graziano's point, Aaron Rodgers was like a bottom 10 quarterback last year, so it's okay, right? I think that there's reason to believe they could get decent play out of him, but will it be enough to put them over the top in the AFC North? I'm skeptical of that. But if he's not going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler, then we're going to look back at this offseason completely puzzled by how they handled things.
Okay, so here's my thing, and to your point, Mina, I know that these guys were in the building, but if you're going to do this, why don't you just let Justin Fields? Why don't you just try to keep Justin Fields? Maybe the money was a problem, and obviously the Jets signed him to $20 million a year, but if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, you got solid to good quarterback play from him before you went to Russell Wilson. Maybe another year in this system, another year in the locker room. Or did they completely give up on Justin Fields to go to what they have now? And that is what is going to piss these fans off. When that question arises, if you're not having success throughout the season, I always say it. Everybody cool when it's May, April, and we ain't got nothing to do. And everybody is optimistic like Dan. But when we get to September and October, and you sitting there at 2-6, and your quarterback then threw 9 interceptions, watch how many people talk about why Justin Fields didn't get kept, or even Russell Wilson at that point.
Yeah, is this one of those situations where they know something that we don't, and that's why it doesn't make sense?
They have to.
Or does
to.
it really just not make sense? That could be. All right.
Are you tanking?
Maybe both.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. See, why do you always say that as we're going to go to commercial? Okay. Anyway, Swagoo, yeah. Or they want a better draft pick next year. All right, Swagoo.
What I do.
Thank you,
my friend.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Sorry.
Coming up on NFL Live, Patrick Mahomes got hit again and again in the Super Bowl loss to the Eagles. Have the Chiefs done enough to solve their protection problem with their quarterback, their biggest asset? We discuss coming up. Wilson and the rookie Jackson Dart. What's the game plan?
I think the game plan at this point for the Giants is to start Russell Wilson and give Jackson Dart whatever time he needs to be ready to play in the NFL. Think about last year's Patriots that drafted Drake May and then brought Jacoby Brissett out to start the season. May played by the end of the year, but they told him, look, if you need the whole year to get ready, we have a guy that can start. And that's why the Giants signed Russell Wilson, knowing they were going to try and address the long-term quarterback question in the draft, but not wanting to have whoever they took have the pressure of needing to start right away if he wasn't ready.
Yeah, we talk about that all the time, having the luxury of a veteran there at the start of the season. So what do you think of the Giants' plan, Swagoo?
I love the plan, Hannah. Sometimes you have to be apprehensive with these young guys until they prove without a shadow of a doubt throughout this process of training camp, mini camp, when you get all the quarterbacks together, how does the offense flow with them? How are the guys responding to them? Can they get the verbiage down, play calling wise? Those are the type of things that gets rookies on the field in a sped up process. But to Graz's point, you got a veteran in Russell Wilson. You got a veteran in Jameis Winston. If there is anything that you see Jackson Dart needs to make a huge leap in before this season starts, you obviously go to the Wily vets. But I love the idea of him being in this true competition to figure out who he is and how he performs under pressure, per se, against NFL caliber defenses, NFL caliber guys. It'll be an interesting watch. We know they drafted him to become the starter, but I like bringing these young guys in and not having that pressure of playing right away.
I, too, love the idea, Marcus, but when it's week 7 and they've been losing games because of the offense and you got a coach on the hot seat, do we really think, and a GM, by the way, this organization is going to have the discipline that they're talking about now in the, I mean, I've just seen this movie too many times on too many NFL teams, and I really hope he sits and learns for as long as possible because, you know, the Dart pick made sense to me in the context of him sitting. I think he is a quarterback who needs some seasoning, particularly because of the transition from the offense he was operating in college to the NFL, but we'll see how it plays out. I have to admit, I'm a little bit skeptical that he's going to sit for very long.
Yeah, especially given the big